How you doing, pioneers? This is mjkk613.14. Unofficial pi through my eyes, the way I see it, the way I understand it. Also a mod in the Pi app. In English, that's mjkk61. Somebody was asking me about the economic model in the white paper, and not understanding, or looking for a little better understanding. There's a lot of, what I've come to find out, there's a lot of inconsistencies in the white paper as far as the economic model goes, and there's missing numbers, and it is pretty confusing. So the way I understand it, the way I've broken it down, pulled it apart, looked at it, connected the dots and whatever, is how I've come to understand pi economics. Okay? There's a lot of issues, okay? But basically, pi, our earnings, is all done on our mobile. Okay, outside of the nodes, any earning or mining or whatever is done on the mobile. It's the only place you can do it. Only place we can do it. Okay. Now, for the mining part of it, there's four roles in pi: pioneer, contributor, ambassador, and node. Okay. Nodes are a separate deal. Nodes are the ones building the blockchain. Nodes are doing whatever. And as far as I know, Core hasn't decided yet on how pi nodes will be rewarded. They're still working on it. So the nodes aren't in this section. Nodes are done on the PC. It's the only place you can run the node is on the PC. But it doesn't earn any mining rate, any block reward, okay. The way it is in the white paper, the way it's written in the white paper, nodes are supposed to share transaction fees at the end of each day, or whenever they have it calculated out. Once a day, active nodes are to share transaction fees. That's the point that Core Team hasn't figured out on how they're going to reward the nodes, if they're going to reward the nodes, and all that. That's still all up in the air. So, take the nodes out. Now, mining rewards, the way things are set up now, is mining, the actual pi mining, is pioneer and contributor role with a 5-person security circle. That is base rate. That's base mining rate. When we push a button once a day, we show we're active. That's where the base mining rate comes from. So, right now we earn it on the hour. Once pi goes live, we will earn it once a day. And the mining portion of it, the contributor, or the pioneer and the contributor portion of it, is what Core has added. It's an addition to what Core has added to Stellar Protocol to make pi. Those two roles, if we're active for that day, we will get paid newly minted coin once a day. That's mining. That is pi mining. Fulfilling those two roles. Okay? Once we sign up, we are a pioneer. Once we build a security circle of 3 to 5 people, once we build a security circle of 5 people, that is the other half of the mining reward. And I think we're at 0.2 now. So for being a pioneer, we get 0.1. Once we have a 5-person security circle, we get another 0.1. And if we're short on our security circle, that 0.1 deducts for each slot that we don't have filled in that 5-person security circle. So, and I haven't figured out what it is. There's 5 people, we'll get 0.1. It's like 0.02. I think it's like 0.02. So if you have a 4-person security circle, you'll get 0.08, 0.06, 0.04. Okay, at the rate we are now. When we come up in half again, then that all gets cut in half. That's mining. Now, referral reward is who we invite to our earning team creates the referral reward. So, the person that invited me, him and I created a pool of pi. that will be pre-minted, a pool of pie. When I invite somebody, then I create a pool of pie with them. And each one that we invite, we create a pool of pie with each person we invite. Now, the way it's working now is for each person we invite, we get a 0.08 increase to our hourly earning rate, mining rate. Once we go live, we won't be getting that on the hour. It'll be whatever and I don't know what the math is, and I'm not sure how it all figures out. But for each active invite, we'll pull a little bit of pie, like right now it's 0.048 on the hour. Whatever you figure that out on 24 hours, that will come from one pool. That will come from each pool, and we will get rewarded that once a day. So, being active for that day, once pie is live, once a day, we will get mining reward, and we will get referral reward. The referral reward, the pool of pie that we created, the two of us will draw on over our lifetimes. If we're active, if we show we're active, we will draw on that over our lifetimes. When it comes to the calculations and all that, okay. In the economic model, it's I'm in pie token supply, token emission policy, and then it has one, and I'm looking at 2. Okay, number 2, M equals derivative FP dx, where F is a is a reducing function, declining function. Okay, that derivative, because core hasn't put out any numbers, and we won't know any numbers until we get to phase 3. We won't know any official numbers. Core did that for a reason. Okay, everybody's so hung up on total supply and this and that, and then to figure out pie price, exchange trading price, and that's what all these speculators are doing, is speculating on whatever. There are no official numbers at this point to go on, so they're speculating on speculation. Okay. On that derivative, on that calculation, there's too many numbers missing. Okay, where P is a decreasing function. So first pioneer, join, second pioneer, third pioneer, fourth pioneer, that's where P will go. F is whatever number core has figured out is going to put in for F. When you figure out the derivative, it comes out to C. Well, we don't have the number for dx. We don't have the number for C. There's too many missing numbers. So core did that for a reason. The reason is, right now, total supply, circulating supply, all that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter right now. Right now. I'm not talking about once we're live. Right now, it doesn't matter. Because pi isn't going to get its value from exchange price. Pi is going to get its value by our value creation, by the project value creation. That's why none of those numbers are important right now. Now, once we're live, yeah. But the way pi is designed, there is 100 million spots in pi. I mean, once we reach 100 million, that's the community's closed. Okay. So as we continue to grow and go farther on and whatever, and going phase 3 is independent of what's going on as far as pioneer count. So as each pioneer joins, then they create a pool with whoever invited them. And then whoever they invite, create a pool of them. Up until 100 million people. So total supply is going to be changing all the time. Up until we reach 100 million people. Does pi have a cap supply? Yes, pi does have a cap supply. But it's based on the 100 million pioneers. So no matter when we go live, I don't think we're going to get, we just crossed 21, so we're probably 22. We're not going to get 77 million people before we go live. It's not going to happen. But wherever that count is, that's what total supply is at that point. And when somebody else joins, then total supply increases. Total circulating supply increases. It's built on, Pi supply is built on pioneers, the amount of pioneers. So that's another piece that doesn't fit in what models are being used currently. Because most of the cryptos, if not all of the cryptos that are out today, have an idea of what max supply is when they go live. Bitcoin is 21 million. It's a fixed supply, 21 million. It's just distributed over time. Stellar and XRP, they minted, when they wrote the first block, they minted all of those coins to begin with. Yeah. They're all sitting, they have it all sitting in a vault. I think Ethereum and most of them, the other ones have too. They know what the total supply is when they go live to the public. That's what these speculators are using. And what's being missed, there's a couple of things, but okay, Core is trying to create a stable economy. They're looking to create a stable value for Pi, but also to keep it competitive. Okay. The way crypto works today is you have speculators speculating on there, calculating this, and they're putting it in there, punching in there, doing this, and okay. And then running off of our knowledge, our emotion, our whatever, when whatever coin, it doesn't matter what crypto it is, when the price is low enough, we want to buy. And we're speculating on it or putting a buy order in whenever that coin reaches this, whatever that is. Then, down the road, we're looking at somebody is going to want to buy that coin, still want to buy that coin at this price. And then we put a sell order in at this price. Well, that's where trading volume comes in. That's where, okay, if, let's say out of 21 million people, there's only 1 or 2 million people that are looking to trade Pi on the exchange. That's it. The total supply is the supply on the exchange. Total supply of Pi has nothing to do with total supply of trading. Total supply trading on the exchanges. Okay. There will only be so much Pi that can be traded on the exchanges. We are the only holders of Pi. Core is trying to create a stable economy to where there isn't a lot of price or value fluctuation in Pi. No, it's going to be like we don't talk about the dollar fluctuating like we do crypto. We don't even talk about the dollar fluctuating like it does on the stock exchange. The exchanges will be part of Pi economy. With the supply as big as Pi is, but there's only so much out. We only have so much until tomorrow. Then we get a little more. More people join, the supply gets bigger. Then we get a little more. But that total supply and circulating supply is inside the community. There's no Pi going to the exchanges. Core is not putting any Pi on the exchanges. It's all from the community. So value creation is created by the project and us. We're the ones creating value for Pi. Buying power value will be set by us first. It's the way I'm seeing it line up. Okay, I'm sure Core has something in mind. Yeah, it won't be a total mass release or whatever. It will be a controlled release. Buying power value, we will set first. And to How can that be? How can that be? It doesn't work like that. That's not how things work. That's all coming from traders on the exchange. Because if what they're looking to trade, to make money at, if it's not swinging, they're not making money. Crypto needs those swings to make money. Pi's not about making other money. Pi's about being the money. So we will set Pi value, buying power value, before it goes to the exchanges. There's not a doubt in my mind. It's just what we choose to set it at. Okay? And I mean, you all know my opinion on where it needs to be. It needs to start at $100. Buying power value. And how that value will be set will be the people that are selling goods willing to accept Pi at what value. If they're looking to trade whatever good they have for Pi at $1, then that's where it'll be. If we choose to buy it at that price. If they choose to take it at $10, and if we choose to buy their product at $10, then that's what it's going to be. For everybody in the community, from the last group of people coming into Pi, because right now, and I believe that will still carry on, when you join, you get 1 Pi. If they can't use that 1 Pi, then the minute they join to buy something, Pi doesn't have a chance. Every pioneer in Pi community needs to be able to buy something day one. When they sign up and they join, they need to be able to buy something in whatever we have going on out here. And I know there's a lot going on. I don't know what it is, but to do that, to be able to use 1 Pi needs to be $100. It needs to start in the community at $100. In my opinion. Okay, I'm not worried about how they're going to resupply their goods and all that. I'm not worried about how the shops are going to take care of their goods and what they're doing and all that. None of my business. That's on them. They've already figured it out, or they should have. Okay, because for Pi to be a success, one, it has to be used. We have to use it. We have to make the transactions. They're not going to make transactions for themselves. We have to buy what we need every day, what we want every day. Whatever. I mean, we don't have, not being stupid about it, but I mean, somebody in a third world country, and I know you can already buy a 5-gallon bucket of rice for like $20 or $25. $25. Okay? So if you only got 1 Pi, somebody in third world country, you only got 1 Pi, they can't even buy that 25-gallon bucket of rice, even if it's at $1. They only got 1. It has to be usable. At $10, they still can't use it. $100, they can buy a 25-gallon bucket of rice for $20 or $25 or whatever, and still have some Pi left over. That means wanting to use it, willing to use it. That's where Pi needs to be. It needs to be wanting to use, willing to use, and using it. And if you can't buy something in your first day, you won't use it. It's not worth it. Being able to buy something that first day makes it worth it. Hey, yeah, and I didn't wipe myself out. And I can buy what I need today to survive. I mean, right now, it's about surviving today. And that last person coming in, they need to buy what they need for today. Now, I'm not, I'm listening to people saying they're paying bills and they're doing this and they're doing that. Okay. Yes, they're dealing with a crypto that's been around for years. 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is. It's been established. It has a track record. It has something proven. Pi has nothing proven yet. Will we get there? Yes. But we're not there yet. We have to get... All I'm talking about is initial startup. Once we get through that initial startup, then the market will be what the market will be. Okay? But we got to get through that startup. And if the exchange dictates to us that Pi is going to be worth 25 cents when it starts, okay? I'm just thinking at it because it's all over the place. But let's just say Pi is going to be 25 cents. Trading price on the exchange is 25 cents. Well, then that's going to carry over to buying power value. At pie at 25 cents, we can't buy it. We can't buy anything with it. And who's looking to keep it at 25 cents are the crypto traders. They're wanting you to believe that that's how it's got to be. That's the way it's going to be. No. They don't need to dictate to us. We will dictate to them. If there is no pie on the exchange, and don't tell me that there is, because how is there? How is there? There is none. The only people that have pie are us. The only place that pie is going to come from is the community. Core's not taking any pie that they have and putting it out on the exchange. There is zero pie going to be on the exchange. Well, somebody's going to sell. Well, yeah, I'm sure they are. But until they sell, there's nothing on the exchange. And people that are looking to sell have what? Less than 1,000 pie? 500 pie? Yeah. You get them guys, them traders on the exchange looking to buy at 500 pie? Well, guess what? That's your supply. You got 500 pie to deal with. Deal with it. Okay? Until we put, yes, and I know we have 21 million, and I know there's a lot of people who want to sell, and I understand. But it's a portion of. Let's say out of 21 million, 22 million, you only have 1 or 2 million that want to sell pie for pennies. Calculate if 2 million people with 100 pie a piece or 500 pie a piece, or that's not a lot of pie for total pie supply. And if you start to understand that buying power, okay, you're trading this to turn it into some other money. The other money is so you can buy something else. You're using other money to buy something. Well, if you can find the same thing that you're buying out there in here, why would you give up that value? Why would you that? You're giving up your profit and you're giving it to somebody else. You're putting your profit in somebody else's pocket. If you sell that low, you're taking your profit and putting it in somebody else's pocket. And then somebody else's pocket that you're putting it in is going to come back over here and spend that pie at $100 a pie. You just gave up $99.75 of buying power. Yeah. I know I may have gotten off track, but yeah. Once pie goes live, it's going to be a different ballgame. Okay? Getting back to, that's kind of the way I understand how the economics of pie is going to work. Now, what those numbers are and what those values are, that I don't know. But the way I understand pie and how it will pay in the future and the benefit to us in the future is we show we're active every day. We get 0.1 for Pioneer. With a 5-person security circle, we get the other 0.1, which makes base rate 0.2. Whatever that calculates out on the 24 hours, we will get that amount. I don't know. Now, the referral reward, the way it's set up now and how it's divided out now, it comes out to 0.048 per hour per active invite. I don't know whether that calculation will be the same. But once a day, the increase that we get on the hourly now, will be figured out on the 24 hours, and we will get that at the same time we probably get our pie mining. Once a day, we will get paid out from them to those 3 rolls. And that, guaranteed, we will get that once a day if we're active. Like I say, nodes are a different deal. So that's why there is no value. And Core cannot have a say or do anything about setting a price or value or anything on pie. It's illegal. They will get tagged for price fixing. If they have anything to do with pie value, pie price, have any say, if any of them come out and say, yes, this is what pie price is going to be, they'll get in trouble. They'll shut pie down. Yeah. Because it's price fixing. core cannot have anything to do with pi value, pi buying power value, pi exchange value. They can have nothing to do with it. So to be counting on core, man, we don't need to count on core for everything. We are pi community. Pi is written for us. We have a say over what that buying power value is going to start at. Once it gets into the market and it starts rolling, yeah, it's out of our hands. But setting it high enough that everyone can use it is still low enough that we should get in, because we don't have to start from the beginning. There's no reason to start from the beginning. So, and once exchange price matches buying power, that's true value. That's pi's true value at that point in time. And I don't expect pi to swing. It's not a pump and dump coin. It's not driven by whales. It's not, okay? Because pi supply is so big, whales aren't going to make a difference in pi. They shouldn't. You know, word gets around that, hey, this dude's that. It's on the exchange, man. That's their sandbox. That's their sandbox. That has nothing to do with what pi value is. That's exchange trading price. And don't expect pi to swing and be making money off of pi like you're making off of anything else, or trying to teach people how to make money off of like everything else. Pi won't do that. Pi won't do that. It can't. It's written and designed not to do that. The other cryptos, yes, they need the swings. They need the swings to make money. Pi should have whatever we start pi value at. It should just gradually increase. Yes, we'll have from the exchange side of it, we'll have ups and downs. I mean, there's nothing level, but that total trend should it should just be trending up. Okay. Pi supply, as big as it is, will keep it low enough to keep it reachable. That's why pi supply is so big, to keep it stable, to keep it reachable. Okay. So pi should just gradually increase over time. Now, is it going to moon or is it going to get to? No, it's not designed that way. It's not. It's designed to be usable. Because now, if you look at, if I can spend it, one pi I can spend, and I have pi coming back in that I'm recovering, makes me more willing to use it, to buy stuff, because I can recover what I'm spending, or over time I can recover what I'm spending. Pi is looking to be a currency, not a tradable asset or a commodity, a true currency. There was something else that I was thinking of that I just lost. Oh, how does that? I mean, how can I justify that $100 per pi? How can I justify it? Well, I started with the last group of people coming in with one pi being able to use their pi. Okay, that's where the $100 came from, because they can't do it at 10. Okay? $100 they can use it, and at $100 there are vendors, or not vendors, but suppliers of goods that are willing to accept pi at that value. That's where it comes down to. So if they can use it, they're accepting it. That's it. I mean, okay. Now what's going to support that, or how can I support that? Pi blockchain. Pi is its own blockchain. So starting with Pi blockchain, with as fast as it is, reliable as it is, and decentralized as it is, that's the foundation. That's the foundation of setting that value, of supporting that value. Yeah. If Pi blockchain is able to handle the transactions as fast as they need to be coming in, and they're accurate, no mistakes, and no forking, and that's the foundation of supporting Pi value. Then us using it to buy goods and services and moving it as much as we can, as fast as we can, support that Pi value. Then I had four of them, but between the Pi blockchain, the community, And it's us using it and trusting it, and the blockchain sets the foundation. And there's something else in there that I was thinking, but I can't think of it right now. But then the daps that are being built on Pi protocol, that's the cement that holds it all together. I mean, I hear people talking about Ethereum now and smart contracts and all the daps that are being built on and all this stuff. Okay, Pi should be able to do that same thing, faster than Ethereum can do it, more reliable than Ethereum can do it, which is the cement that holds that value, whatever that value is. Because $100 is only where like I say, I'm only looking at starting value. That $100 will climb. That $100 will climb, and it'll probably climb pretty quick. And the more we're using it, the more we're showing that it's usable and can be used and trustable and whatever. That's the product. That makes Pi the product. Once you have the product, then you can go to these places. You have something to sell them. And if they're already accepting cryptos the way they are now, and we come in with a trustable, stable, reachable, non-fluctuating product, we're not going to get turned away. Okay, you take a store. I don't care what store it is, any store, grocery store. The one that comes to mind for me is Target. Okay. Target was willing to accept Bitcoin 2 years ago. They were willing to accept it as a form of payment 2 years ago, with exceptions. That because of how long it takes a transaction to process and how much it's fluctuating, whatever, they would give that 10 minutes to process. But if the didn't process, you had to start the process over, and then they had to readjust the prices to whatever Bitcoin price was at that point. You can't use that for business. I mean, that's not a viable way to do business. But they're willing to do that. We come up with Pi once it's live. I mean, not now. It's got to be live, and it's got to have a track record. And you go into somebody with Pi, going, hey, we have 6 months, a year, whatever it is, track record that Pi is stable, it's reachable, it's usable, it's whatever. Which one would you take? Which one are they going to take? If Pi is like the dollar bill, they will take it as a form of payment. They will. And if it processes as fast as what a Visa card can process now, and it's reliable and all that, that's the product. That's what we're after. Because right now we have nothing to sell. We have nothing to sell to anybody. You take Pi into someplace like Target or Walmart or wherever and try to sell that as a usable product, they'll laugh at you and kick you out the door, man. Yeah. Bitcoin even though it's an unstable, it's a usable product. It's up, it's running, it's functioning, it's doing, you can see it, it's got a track record. We have nothing for Pi yet until it goes live to the public. And no. Oh, liquidity. That's the other one I missed. Liquidity. Pi will have its own liquidity. Trading on an exchange, and they've gotten away from that too because their philosophy is changing or whatever it is. But before, when you ran an ICO was to get coin on the exchange, to get coin on trading on the exchange, and to build liquidity. Part of it for the exchange, part of it for the project. Part of the exchange, part of it for the product. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm very blind. Okay. When the ads were agreed on, way back when, the community at the time discussed it, voted on it, whatever it was, decided on the ads. Well, why was that? Why did we choose that? One, we chose that to keep outside investors out. Because as soon as you get outside investors in, then Pi isn't Pi anymore. Pi belongs to them. Because they're expecting return on their investment, and they're going to have a say in how the direction of whatever pie is going to go. That's why they're out there. So, and I haven't heard it much lately, but everybody's talking about, well, the ads, Core is stealing our data and they're selling it and they're doing whatever, okay? Core is invested in this project, believe it or not. So, if what you're saying is Core should be making all of this money off the ads we're watching that are rotating through and whatever, okay? Where do you think Pi liquidity is coming from, man? Why do you think Pi doesn't need outside investors? Don't be so greedy, man. Open your eyes to what's going on. Pi is looking to get us out from under the system we are in today. Pi is looking to be a player in the digital future, but looking to get us out from underneath the central bank, to get us out from underneath all that, to give another option to be able to buy stuff with. That's not that doesn't fall under the same regulations. That we're taking our pie, taking the pie we're getting, and giving it to somebody else. That's all you're trading on the exchange. That's all you're doing. You're taking what you have, you're trading on the exchange, and most of them charge some kind of fee or whatever it is. So, whatever that fee is for the trade, you got to pay for the trade. So you're giving. The exchanges are becoming nothing more than like central bank, paying to use their service. Well, if I don't have dealing with each other, I don't have to buy another service. And we're around the world. Okay? 230 some odd countries. Okay? All we're doing with Pi right now is distributing it around the world in a big enough supply to be able to use it as a currency. Most of these other projects, when they run their ICO or their airdrop or their whatever, okay, one, they're looking to raise money for the project, looking to raise the liquidity needed for whatever exchange they're on. And they're distributing their coin. They're distributing their currency, their crypto. I wouldn't even call them currency, they're crypto. Well, now think about it. To be a viable currency, it has to be able to be used. Well, as long as Pi has been around and has been distributing coins, the distributing Pi, as evenly as it possibly can, then the supply around the world is already there. The supply around. We can do business with anybody we want around the world. Anybody. Pi is a 24/7 operation, man. You want to shop at 3 o'clock in the morning in the U.S., you get online and go into Pi. Somebody's going to be open somewhere around the world. Or vice versa. Okay? And the supply is big enough that it doesn't matter what transaction you're doing. I mean, most of these coins now, you hear a whale, somebody puts out a word, a whale's going swimming. Man, everybody's focusing and they're lining up and they're doing whatever, okay? Pi, so what? So what? Go for a swim, man. Do what you want to do. Go to the deep end. Go to the shallow, sell all your shit off. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I mean, okay, the easiest way I can explain that one is think about all of the other. Okay, step out of the crypto world a minute. Get into the stock market, get into the money that you're chasing. Get into that world. Okay? When that's all going on, when you take guys like Gates, Buffett, even Musk, I'm sure he's invested in other stuff, any of these big players in the stock market that play in the stock market or in the housing market or in the whatever. When Buffett is going to move some money, or Gates is going to move some money or do whatever, you don't even know about it and it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect the value of the dollar. It's where they're It's just what it is. And I'm sure most people haven't realized that with what's going on now, most of these big players have gotten out of the stock market. I mean, they're still in it. But they've gotten out. They've pulled their money out. They've pulled their money out and they put it in big real estate around the world. Okay? Gates and Musk and all these guys, they have big chunks of property around the world. You know, like some whatever it is in Brazil or whatever. Okay? Gates and Buffett and somebody else I just watched the other day. In the United States, they have like big chunks of land, like out of Montana and Colorado and whatever. They're putting their money in there. That's hedging they're hedging their portfolios because the dollar's in the shape that it's in. So if the dollar crashes, they still have a tangible asset that they can sell. If the dollar crashes, now this is just if the dollar crashes, let's just hypothetical. Dollar crashes, stock market crashes, everything tanks. And dollar's worth nothing. Because everything is tied to the dollar is going to make it worth nothing the same way. Initially. I mean, if the dollar crashes, everything's going to crash around it. Cryptos and everything. If the cryptos are chasing the dollar, and there is no dollar, what can it chase? Everything, all the other world currencies are tied to the dollar. What's it going to chase? They all got to crash. The whole thing's got to crash and reset. Now, I have some opinion on that too. All right, now this is something to put in your back pocket. All right, the dollar pie's up and running. We're trading amongst them. We're doing whatever we're doing, and the dollar crashes. Doesn't mean we crash. Doesn't mean we still have an economy go. We have an economy, an ecosystem, our own economy. Means we can still trade and buy stuff. Well, we can't get suppliers. Well, the vendors around now can't move their product because there's no cash to be moving. How long do you think it would take for them to start accepting Pi to move their goods? Yeah, it wouldn't take long. Okay? Because Pi is looking to be its own economy, its own ecosystem. The dollar can do whatever it wants to do. Yeah. Keep that in your back pocket. I mean, those are all things that need to be. You need to think about all. You need to think about all the bigger picture, the big picture. Yeah. Now, if the dollar were to crash, I think China will probably become the next reserve. But when all of these economies come back up again, because they're not going to stay down for long. I mean, Russia went bankrupt in the 80s. North Korea, there isn't worth anything now. But I think what will happen is if all of these crash, yeah, just the paper money goodbye. They won't come back up on paper money. They'll come back up digital. Yeah, that's my opinion. It's one way to get rid of the paper. Well, will it be gold or something? Yeah, it may be gold and precious stones and metals and stuff in the interim while it goes down and comes back up. Yeah, but I don't think the United States will come back up as a reserve. I think China will come back up as a reserve. My own opinion. Because, okay, but if it crashes, that means everything crashes. That means everything going one way to zero the books out, man. But that's my own opinion. But look at the bigger picture. The way I see everybody's so focused and so narrow on the exchanges. The crypto exchanges are nothing but the stock market on steroids. Because they're chasing other currency. They're using crypto to turn into other currency. That means crypto's not a currency. It means it's an asset or a commodity. Tradable asset or commodity for a currency. Pi is looking to be its own currency. And it has all the tools to do it. We just have to get on board and make it happen. So, I know I probably strayed off of the economic model. Core has really thought about Pi being a currency. Man, we stay with it. We get pie for life. We get pie for life. Just off, yeah, it may only be a little bit, but we get pie for life. Okay. Core's put some thought into, because everybody's on scarcity. Scarcity is an illusion, folks. Because of deflation and the more money that the government is printing, yeah, the buying power value of the dollar is decreasing. But you can't tell me that the American dollar is scarce. They print trillions of it every couple of years. So you can't say scarcity is what controls value. Scarcity is what drives price, exchange price. Okay? You can't tell me that gold is scarce. Man, there is a limited supply on the planet. There is limited supply on the planet. But they've been digging gold out of the ground since 6,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago. They've been digging gold out of the ground, and they're still digging gold out of the ground. I mean, you had pyramids and temples and all this other stuff that was all adorned in gold. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. I mean, when you can, if gold were that scarce, you couldn't go on any street corner and buy necklaces and chains and watches and whatever it is. You couldn't be putting as much gold, even if it's gold plate, putting as much gold in the electronics that we use today. So, scarcity is an illusion, man. Anyway, Core has looked at making pi sustainable, stable, reachable, usable, trustable currency. Pi has all the makings to be a currency. A store of value, whatever it is when you invest, okay? Usable. Pi has what it takes to be a currency. Pi is only looking to pick up where Bitcoin left off, that's all. Bitcoin should have already done it, but that's a different story, different time I don't want to get into. All Pi is doing is looking to make the next step in the evolution of digital currency. Yeah. Crypto's had its time. You don't hear any of these big governments talking about cryptocurrency. They're talking digital currency. They're talking digital currency. Pi can be a digital currency in that future. We just have to make it happen. All right, I've talked long enough. Hope I answered your questions. If not, shoot me some more, and we'll see if we can get them straightened out. All right, later, man.